Hello, and welcome to QuantPy. In this demo, we explain the simplified Kth-to-Default price tool. We take a hypothetical pool of loans, whose main features are as follows. The pool consists of a finite number of names, say 20. This is in contrast to the previous videos where we assume the pool consists of large number of names. This is because the Kth-to-Default modeling is not very useful when the number of names is too large. As before, we assumed we have lent 1 quid to each of them. Each name has a 3% probability of default, and when a name defaults, we recover only 40 pence, meaning the loss given default is 60%. Lastly, the correlation between any two names is 10%. That's all we need to know about the underlying portfolio. We then enter the risk-free discount rate, which we will assume to be 1%, and maturity, which we will assume to be 1 year. Let the n in the Kth-to-Default be 3, meaning that the CDO pays if the number of default is 3 or more at the maturity. The CDO we are pricing here, again, is a very simple instrument. The protection buyer pays the premium today, just as a stock call option buyer would pay the premium when buying the option. At maturity, if the number of defaults is at least n, then the CDO buyer would receive compensation for the loss associated with the end default. So let's hit the button now. Here is the output. The price is 245 basis points. The price is followed by the Greeks, which are essentially derivative of the price with respect to each of the inputs. Recall that these Greeks are defined in the mathematical sense, so you will need to divide them by 100 or 10,000, depending on whether you like quoting figures in percent or basis points. Let's try the analysis version of the tool now with the same inputs. Let's type in the inputs quickly. Here you go. The first section contains the same outputs we saw before. The first new section shows how the price changes with each of the inputs. The next section shows the impact of the correlation on CDOs with different ends. The red line is what we saw before, but we have now added a lower and a higher end prices to the chart. As you can see, the price of the first to default decreases as the correlation increases. The prices of the higher end should show opposite relationship. We don't have a quiz in this video, as the demo was a bit long. You may want to practice with both tools now. We wish you a happy interaction with QuantPy.